stat line, but I'm saying it because 65 tackles and 22 marker tackles would always win stat line of the week, I think.
Yeah. Yeah, I think it's got to be really.
Player of the week. I'm going to lean towards Greg Eden for his two-try
Will you
performance on
stop
Thursday night.
picking everyone that I'm picking?
Oh, sorry. In that case, Rowan Milnes.
Okay, you can have him. I'll have the next Rovers player.
But yeah, I think Eden provided one of the moments of the weekend as well, because that game coming to that climax was quite exciting, and it did feel like Saints were in the ascendancy, and then to have a sort of 98-meter interception try to swing it completely irreversibly the other way.
Yeah.
Highlight of the week then, Sarah.
I don't really have one.
I think the Mason Lino try was good in the Wakefield game, but I always enjoy, even though I didn't enjoy this one as much as others, I always enjoy tries that come from a set from the kickoff where a team tries something slightly different, and so Hull KR's try that pretty much sealed the game. I would say that the Jez Litton try came off the back of that great pass from King with the break from Staunton, wasn't it? And then the quick play of the ball, spread the ball out wide, and a few little neat offloads and stuff. Minikin involved, and that was a great try.
Yeah, I think I'm struggling because obviously I didn't see an actual game, which I'm used to seeing, and didn't really catch loads on TV either. So I feel like I've been a bit devoid of rugby this week.
I'm going to throw the Marshall one into the mix as well because that was just a ridiculous finish. Predictions. This didn't finish ridiculously well anyway. I was 2 out of 6. 2 out of 6. Rob was 4 out of 6, so he was relatively successful. In the host Super Route, Alan's top, David's second in the yellow cap this week. Sarah, you're third. I'm fourth, and Tim is fifth. In the Super Route, Craig is still at the top. Ian Gatwood has got the yellow cap on this week, though. So, nice to see some sort of win for the London Broncos this week.
Yeah.
Thanks everyone who sent in their fan reviews on those games. Particularly enjoyed the ones on the Wakefield Warrington game that wasn't televised, and the Catalans Hull FC game as well that wasn't televised. But again, I need to say, Salford, Huddersfield, and Leeds fans, where are you? We know Leeds fans aren't listening because it's the Super League pod and they're a Championship side. One time, one of them will get triggered because one must listen. One must listen.
Yeah, one of them's going to come and find you, Mark. Because let's face it, Wigan is in Lee, isn't it? And they'll come and they'll find you and they'll beat you up.
Well, I hope not, and not living in Wigan might help with them struggling.
I know. I recognise you don't live in Wigan, so I was careful how I phrased that.
But that is the match reviews covered. We'll now move on to other results.
So in other results, we'll start with the Wheelchair Challenge Cup final, which, as Mark said, was the final that we've got that's finally being played. And it finished Leeds 60, the Argonauts 28. We had some fan reviews on that one.
We did. Bruiser664, good to hear from him, said both sides played well, with the Argonauts being the more aggressive of the two teams, particularly in the tackle. The Skeleton Army's inability to convert suggested a bigger gap at half-time than the 5 tries to 3 showed. In the end, though, Leeds ran away with it, winning 60-28, having scored 10 converted tries to the Argonauts' 6 tries, of which 2 were converted. Dr. Hideous said Leeds blew it out by the end, but the game was closely fought until the last few minutes. Leeds' early lead was largely down to Nathan Collins' impeccable kicking, both for goal and position. For the Argonauts, Lewis King impressed in all departments, including having an excellent tattoo game. And Dr. Bob
Nice.
Phillips said, "Crikey, the speed and brutality and skill of this game, far quicker when watching a whole one than the clips. Leeds had the edge in skill, particularly Halliwell, that's meant to be, I think it's just separated it out. Halliwell and Simpson, whose use of grubber constant surprised the Argonauts. Worth watching." Yeah, it was good. The first half in particular was good because it did seem more even, and you still had the hope of an Argonauts comeback. But I think Leeds just about had a couple more quality players and a little bit more speed. I mean, Collins and Halliwell showed some really good speed on a couple of the tries that were scored, especially in the second half, and that kind of changed the complexion of the game to make it a bit one-sided, which didn't feel totally fair because the Argonauts had a really good spell early in the game, but they just weren't able to score, and they had a try that was really close to the sticks that they didn't convert, and I think at that point they needed to be scoring sixes because nothing was getting missed from Collins. Did you catch any of this one?
I didn't. I wanted to, but I ended up not being around to do it in the end.
It's worth getting getting up on the iPlayer and having a watch, even if it's just the first half an hour or so where the game was a bit more even. I think. And in the balance, there were some good plays from both sides.
Yeah,
there was a brilliant sort of chip over play between Halliwell and Collins where I think Halliwell had played the ball and then passed it to Collins, but then backed up his chair to get onside. Then Collins did a sort of reverse kick to the corner, and Halliwell had kind of just sort of ghosted in behind the line of defence to catch it on the full and pop it down. It was a really clever play, clearly by two players who've been working on something together.
Yeah, no, I do enjoy watching the wheelchair rugby, so I will definitely catch that later. Moving on to the championship, it was round 17 and it finished Newcastle 12, Bradford 36, Featherstone 44, York 14. Sheffield 25, Oldham 18, Swinton 6, Batley 38, Whitehaven 32, London Broncos 18, Dewsbury 23, Widnes 22, and Toulouse against Halifax was cancelled.
Yeah, good win for Whitehaven there. It was the Broncos are in a bit of a rut, but still they went behind early doors in that one. This was our championship game of the week, so I was tracking what was happening. In this one, London took the lead early and a couple of times had leads in that first half, but Whitehaven turned that around and kind of were comfortable by the end. So well done to them. In the standings, Toulouse remain on 100% at the top. Featherstone have an 88% win rate. Halifax are third on 75%. Bradford are on 67 with Batley on 65. Then a gap to London in 6th on 53%. Whitehaven improved to 50%. Sheffield in 8th are on 43%. York on 38%. Widnes, Newcastle and Dewsbury all have 34%. Oldham in 13th are on 16%, and Swinton at the bottom have 9% win success rate.
And moving over to the NRL, where it was round 22.
Oh, League One. Have we done League One?
No, sorry. I thought we were missing League One, but I'd scrolled past it. Sorry. In League One, it was round 14, and it finished West Wales 22, Workington 36. North Wales 23, Barrow 10, Hunslet 38, London Scholars 10, Keighley 46, Coventry 18, Rochdale 44, Doncaster 8.
And in the standings, that means Workington moved to the top with an 86% win rate. Barrow dropped to second on 81%, and North Wales are up into third on 62%, overtaking Doncaster on 58%. That was that North Wales win against Barrow was our game of the week, and in League One, and North Wales are in absolutely cracking form. Rochdale are fifth on 53.85%, narrowly above Keighley, who have 53.57%.
Whoa.
Hunslet are in 7th on 50%, Coventry have 38%, Scholars have 25%, and West Wales have 4%.
We'll now move on to round 22 of the NRL, where it finished Storm 26, Raiders 16. In the Britwatch, Hodgson made 45 tackles, Whitehead 114 metres, and Ryan Sutton played. It was also the Dragons 16, the Panthers 34, the Broncos 20, the Roosters 21, the Rabbitohs 36, the Titans 6, Burgess with 114 metres. We had a fan review on this.
Yes, Alan Walker said the Pink and Myrtle march on. All Queensland's finest middles were supposed to give South's big guys a challenge. It was the only way they could close Trell, Renault, Cody and Co down. Didn't happen. The Bunnies went forward all game. The Titans didn't. Renault clearly loves it up in Queensland. He's scoring for fun. And Cody and Titans D on a string. 34 assists. Souths have 30 plus points for 8 games running. Top 3 locked in. Glory, glory.
Cowboys 16, West Tigers 24. The Sea Eagles 56, the Eels 10. The Warriors 24, the Bulldogs 10. The Sharks 14, the Knights 16.
Standings then. Storm are top on 40 points, closely followed by Panthers and Rabbitohs on 38. Roosters sit 4th, but off the top 3 pace. They have 30 points, with Sea Eagles and Eels on 28. Knights in 7th are on 22 points, with Titans and Raiders both on 20, then Sharks, Dragons, Warriors and West Tigers all on 18 in a very tight race for the final playoff spots. Cowboys are on 14, Broncos on 12 and Bulldogs bottom with 6. Other games, we've got a couple in on the Super League South semi-finals that were taking place this weekend. Dr. Hideous was all over that action. So it was the Army Ladies 110, the Golden Ferns 0. Army up 18-0 by 11 minutes and 64-0 at half-time. If the Golden Ferns were hesitant in the tackle, all reaching out and trying to grab instead of going in with the shoulder to make a stopping hit. The few tackles Army had to make were more physical, and the Golden Ferns rarely made more than 30 metres in a set. The Gloucestershire ladies were massively outclassed and exhausted by the end, but never gave up. And the Cardiff Demons 38, the London Broncos 20. Dr. Hideous said, a slow start from the Broncos gifted the Demons easy points early on, 26-0 on 20 minutes. The Broncos won the remainder of the match, 20 points to 12, but that poor start left too much of a mountain to climb. A nasty-looking injury on 76 minutes led to the match being abandoned when a tackled player's elbow landed on the face of a player who was already on the ground. No foul play, just a horrible accident. Well, I hope that player's okay, who was on the receiving end of that. There was the first ever PDRL Origin game as well, which was abandoned in the second half with a nasty looking injury. So I hope that that there's nothing long lasting and problematic there either from that one. But
not
sorry.
Nice.
What are you saying?
I was saying not nice. When you hear of a few. And with the Andrea Fifita, I've just seen as being placed in an induced coma as well. Yeah,
in the Sharks Knights game in the NRL as well. So potentially serious stuff there as well for him. And his twin brother went out and put in a strong performance for Wakefield. I'm guessing that he maybe didn't know what was going on at that time, but that's really worrying as well.
Yeah.
I'm not sure. I honestly struggle. I was watching the Origin PDRL game, but watching the cricket at the same time, so I was kind of not paying full attention, and I didn't realise what had happened. But it must have been a serious injury.
Yeah.
I'm just trying to see if there's anything in the paper about it.
Just when a match is being abandoned at whatever level, you know that it's really not good.
No, I can't seem to actually find anything in the in the